So, Omnisphere, I talk about it all the time. Let's be real. I have two, and they're now dropping three. So, let's take a look at it. Let's see what they did. I'm not going to play the video. You can watch that on your own because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Um, but I do own all three of these. Well, not three yet, but I will at some point own three. And I'll do a video on some of the features. There's one feature that I'm super excited about, and I'll talk about it in this video. So bear with me. Let's go over it. All right, so we'll click here. Should take me to the page. Maybe. Okay, this will. We'll bypass the video. So first of all, they added thousands of sounds as if it didn't have already like what 14,000 plus sounds. Not to mention whatever you can buy that other people made. So warm tones, analog vibes, retro vibes, scoring organic, which is cool, instrument collection, which is nice because I see guitars hanging on the wall, so there should be some more guitars, maybe some bass sounds. There's the ambient dreams. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Organic vibes is interesting. Live keyboardist, so that's going to be interesting. Vocal collection. Okay, so a bunch of new sounds, and it looks like they optimize it so it won't take up more hardware space than it already did for Omnisphere 2. So that's a really good thing. They've changed the global controls, which looks more clean in my opinion now, and um, the importance of this is going to come out when I talk about the hardware portion, which we'll do. So here's what I'm most excited about, other than the fact that they made it where it now works with a bunch of different keyboards, even the MPK stuff that Akai puts out, it works with those. It's crazy. But it works with the launch key, Mark IVs, and some of the older versions too. But I'm excited about the Mark IV working because obviously that's what I have. And I want to get a 61 just because I want to be able to have the faders now that the faders can help control some of the global commands, which means it's going to be a lot easier to adjust. Plus, having some more keys would be nice. I'm going to probably keep the 37 because when I don't want to play on the big keyboard, the 37 will be a nice little portable one to have around. And it's kind of nice having a couple keyboards, even though technically it's the same keyboard. Just because the 61, I would never take it out. I would just leave it. Or 49 even, I wouldn't take it out. I would just leave it. Um, okay, so this is huge. This is really huge. Look, one of the things I say, and I've said this so many videos now, I'm not really a sound designer in that effort that there's some guys out there that know how to tweak and really get intricate. We'll talk about that in just a second. But the mutation. So now you can take any of their presets and press a mutate button, and it's basically like a randomizer, which will randomize the sound a little bit. So it'll give you another preset. And this means you can do this as much as you want until you find something subtle or maybe extreme that you want to use, which means that one sound could be a million sounds. That's incredible. So, new synthesis sound design features. So it looks like they're adding 36 new filters. That's crazy, as if it didn't have already enough. The module saturation, they add in some new EDM wave tables, which is dope. The dual frequency shifter, which is an older concept but still dope. The vintage oscillator drift, which is kind of cool. If you've ever used the drift in Pigments, that's really nice. The quad zone modulation one, where you can have different cutoffs and stuff and blend sounds on different notes and space the keys the way you want them. The unison phase scatter, the classic glide mode, which is kind of dope. And this is, you can see here it says new OBXA, Moog, Odyssey, Portamento curves, right? And then the MPE they're adding. So now you could use that expressive E keyboard if you wanted. You could use perhaps they'll do something for the MPC Live 3 now that it has expressive stuff. Who knows? That may come in the future since it's kind of new. They've added unique, deep sampling sound sources. So all these instruments like cellos and things that were kind of okay on the previous version, they were good, but they now have gotten so much more intricate and better. The harmonic taps of a piano, just all kinds of cool stuff that I'm looking forward to trying out. And this is the second thing I'm probably most excited about because I never really used the hardware. And I say hardware, but controllers are hardware too, guys. It's not just keyboards. But I never really used the one I had to do any of this type of stuff. But now I think I will, because if you look right here, over 300 new hardware profiles are included. So let's take a look. And they're pretty much all the major companies. I'm not going to go through everyone, but if you look at Akai, you can see the MPKs, all of these different keyboards that are out. They don't have the new one on here. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it on here because obviously it just dropped like a day ago. Arturia. So you look here, the BeatStep Pro, some of the older stuff, as well as the KeyStep Pro, which is one of the ones I do like. Super dope that even the Mini Freak, look here, that you can use. So, and the KeyStep 37 is the one I like. But yeah, they added all the rest of those. So that's really cool. I'm going to scooch on down this list a little bit. If you see one you like, check the website out. And we're going to go straight to Novation because let's be honest. So you'll look here, you'll see the launch key Mark IVs, 37, 49, 61. I don't see, and it's probably on here. Oh, they have it, launch key mini. So even the mini will have, so if you get the mini for the road, like say you want to travel with it, you could have the mini and still be using your Omnisphere stuff. That's so crazy. So I'm excited about this. Even stuff like the Summit, I don't have this, but I've seen these and they look really cool. The FL key ones work. Look at this. So you could have the FL key if you're in FL and use that simultaneously. And they even went back to the older stuff like those SL Mark IIIs, which if they ever release a new SL version of that, I think I would migrate that way just because those had the visuals on it, which I think is kind of cool. And at this point, they haven't done that, but it's kind of nice. All right, so let's keep it pushing. Roland, if you have any of the Roland boards, looks like you're good. Yamaha. This was one, the Reface CS is one that I actually used to have a while back, but I like it. It's kind of cool. I would love to see the other CS versions, but who knows? They may add it. Omnisphere is really good with updates and keeping their stuff up to a high level because I know they use them in movies and commercials and everything. Okay, that is all I want to talk about for Omnisphere 3. Oh, I will talk about this. They added 35 more effects. So some reverbs, this optical leveling amp, which I think we call, is it 1130, 1176? No, it's the LA, the optical LA. They added that. I know they have the LA 76 though. That's in the version 2 right now. Um, so yeah, and you can look here and see all this, the solid mix. So a lot of those, there it is right there. They did add it. It's new. The classic 1176 limiter. Incredible. So I'm excited about that. I felt like that one was in too, but maybe I'm confusing it with something else. Half speeder, warp shifter. Some of these are really nice creative effects that they're adding. So I'm looking forward to trying some of those in the new version. You pretty much get everything you need when you buy Omnisphere, and you should buy Keyscape and Trillion if you're going to buy it. Get the complete package because you basically will never need another synth. You'll never need another synth, in my opinion, unless you just want one. And you'll have all the keys you need, and you'll have the bass you need. That's pretty much everything. The only thing they don't have, they do have a couple guitars, but they're okay. But you got to go ample sound if you're going to go guitars. They really have done guitars in the right way. Maybe someday Omnisphere will do it. I think if they did it, they're going to do it to perfection because that's how they roll. And I like that. I respect them a lot for that. There's distortions and all kinds of stuff in here. So if you look here too, I wanted to say this is new. They're added in an Omnisphere effects rack. So those plugins that I just talked about can all be used in an effects rack in your DAW. So you can see I'm using it in Ableton right here. So you could have that and just use those effects if you like their effects, which they do sound good. Then you can throw them in there and use it in your DAW. And here's a couple other highlights that they've done a full redesign on the browser, so the browser should be easier to get through. Yeah, the directory tree interface. Let's see, new library images. So the images look a little bit better, which is nice because I think they kind of cheapen that on the originals. And I mean, it's a picture, let's be real. But now it's nice to have some visuals sometimes to help you. Yeah, and so you can do an interface tour. We're not going to do that because I don't know if there's words or something in there that I might have to edit, and I don't like editing. You know how I feel about that. Yeah, so incredible stuff. I'm looking forward to this. I'm super excited because I was looking at other stuff and I end up using the same stuff over and over and over. So this is cool that I don't have to do much. Now, let's take a look at pricing because everybody wants to know that. So if you never bought any of this stuff, but you want the full version, you're pretty much looking at $500 to get the full version. Doesn't matter whether you get it boxed or if you get a download code, they still do 500. But there's two standard packages, and I don't know what the Atmosphere upgrade is. It's $50 more. I just don't know. I sent them an email to ask them what that means because I have no clue. So I'm leaning towards standard, but if there's something in this that makes it $50 more valuable, then probably I would jump in this. But at present, I'm probably just going to go with standard. I'm comfortable with that. The mutate button alone makes it super valuable to me, and the effects, of course. All right, so that's it. It's available October. I keep saying 31st, but it says here 21st. So guess I need to rethink that. It's the 21st, which is today is the 15th. You're talking about 5 days from now. So that's incredible. I'm looking forward to that. I'll do some more videos on it because I do use Omnisphere quite a bit on my previous albums. You'll see that I use it often in there. And so I'm excited. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I told you I didn't have much to talk about, then all of a sudden wake up to this. So who knows? All right, so we'll keep it going and I'll see you on the next video.